Welcome back everybody to another PGA2K23 video. Excited for y'all to be here today. Excited for the content that we have today. It's going to be a great video. First and foremost, thank you for stopping by, and please like and subscribe if you like the content. We're going to be putting out some more instructional video as we go. If you haven't watched the 7 tips that I wish I knew, my previous video, before starting, I wish you'd go and watch that because it would help lead to this video. But if you haven't, we're really going to just dive into the 2 different types of style of play. You have your simulation style and you have your arcade style, and somewhere along the line is where you're at, and we look forward to diving into figuring out where you are exactly at and what that means for you, the pluses and minuses to where you're at, and maybe if you want to jump ship to the other side or be confirmed in where you're at in the game. Alright, so what is arcade style play? Arcade is going to be mainly for the new players coming in, and for people that like to have very high scoring play of game. You can be an expert player and be one of the best players in the game and play at arcade, but it's going to be mainly for the people that like the high scores and mainly for the new players. It's going to have all of the settings, all of the math added in for you. That way you don't have to worry about elevation, wind, or any other issue. And it's going to help show you putt paths, different tools that will help you play better and being able to show you how to play golf. Simulation style is going to be very realistic to the style of play, and it's going to be meant for more the golfer and expert style player. Beginners can play at this level, but it's going to be very tough and will really show you the different styles of golf and more of the struggles that you will have if you do look forward to playing golf in real life. We'll dive deeper into the 2 and figure out where you're at and see if we can help you play the game more fun and get to a spot where you feel comfortable at the game. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the settings. The reason why I bring the settings up is this defines where you're going to be at versus arcade and or simulation. And the reason why I say it's a line is because there are so many different variables on your settings that you could be here, you could be here, you could be here, you could be here. Depending on what you set up in your settings, that's going to define where you're at versus simulation to arcade. So right now, this is my settings. I'm on legendary settings, but I mainly am a cross between legendary and TCG. I basically have the TCG settings all the way up until my swing difficulty, and I change my swing difficulty to legend. But if you want to do TCG, you do master, and this is all the settings for it. But with that being said, that's going to be simulation, because all of it is going to be turned off, all of it is going to be as hard as possible, and it's going to make the swing very realistic. So if I take a golf club and I swing fast, it's going to affect the club. It's going to affect the ball, it's going to affect where the ball goes, and the same thing with your joystick. If you swing fast on legendary, it's going to do the exact same thing. If you throw a club into the ground, it's going to do the exact same thing as in real life. So that's why I like legendary. Is I'm a golfer, played Division II golf, really enjoy the game, still play, and that's what I love about this game is you can do that. Now, with that being said, if you're just getting into the game and you don't have all that experience, you don't really care about golf. It is what it is. You like the game though, and you want to get better at the game. There's a setting for that. There's a setting for each step at what you want this game to be. There's a setting for that. I'm going to change the settings more to a beginner setting, and more of the beginning settings is more of the arcade style. Beginning is not a bad spot to be at, and it doesn't really matter where you're at in the game. There's a bunch of different people at different parts of the game. So find your spot and own it, and just kind of be happy with where you're at in that game, because there's positives and minuses to every single step of this game. And they're mainly about the same as far as equality on the, I guess, plus to negative ratio. So with that being said, if you go to putt preview, for example, you don't have that on simulation, you don't have that on golf. If you go to 0, that's going to be real golf. You don't have a line showing you exactly which way the ball curves. But in arcade mode you do. On a video game you do. You have that technology, you can do that. Why not do that? If you want to have fun, you want to make eagles, you want to make birdies, go do that. We'll show you a game clip of me playing versus the 2. But if you want to play the game and just have fun, not worry about your swing speed, not overcomplicate the game, not have to do math, because you do have to do math on Legendary. You do have to do math on the TGC Tours. You do have to do math on the online game. Any online match right now that you play, you do have to do some sort of math to get the right club. Just as you do in golf, you have to do the right math. But with that being said, if you don't want to play that style, you don't have to play that style. There's tons of societies. I can give you a list of societies if you like. DM me, I'll give you a list of societies to play in that have beginning to easier settings that you can go shoot 34 under par and have fun with a low scoring round and shoot the easiest score you can. I was just on Twitch, played on arcade style, and had 3 hole-in-ones on 18 holes. Gave my Uncle Shane a shout out, made a hole-in-one. I mean, that's how you play on arcade style, and it's fun. But for me, I'm an actual golfer. I enjoy the golf. I enjoy the math. It helps me, playing this game helps me play real golf. By far, it is the best teaching tool I've come across that you can play a game on. It teaches me that I'm quick on my shots a lot of the times. That's my miss. My chips, I throw the club into the ground before I get to the ball a lot of times. It has literally helped my short game out a ton. Now, moving forward, you can experiment with these. I'll show you how to change them mid-game, but you can always change these out as needed, and this shouldn't ever be stuck on one setting here. If you don't like one setting, go change the setting. If you don't like this, go change that. Fix this to how you want it. Let this be fluid in how you play and fluid in how you change it, because your swing is going to change and the skill set that you have is going to be changed. But just be cognizant as you play one, it does have an effect on the other. If you play arcade for a solid month, your simulation score is going to go way down. Or way up. You're going to play worse on simulation style because you don't have to do all that stuff. It does it for you. You learn to not do it. You don't get good at doing that. You don't get good at your swing timing on arcade. You don't have to worry about that. So, they do have effect on each other. But with that being said, if you play arcade and you're getting bad scores, go play around on Legendary. I know you'll get max scores every once in a while, but go finish around at 18 holes on Legendary, then go play arcade again. I guarantee you shoot a lot lower score on that next round coming back to arcade. It'll help you out, so just be cognizant of what you're doing with your game and figuring out what goals you want to do, and help your settings lead to those goals. Now let's get into some gameplay. Alright, let's go ahead and get into arcade style golf course play. Go ahead and play this course if you would like. It's called Huey Hills Country Club, built by yours truly. But let's go ahead and get into, let's change our settings to the arcade style settings. We changed them to the TGC Tour settings with the Legendary. Let's go ahead and change them back. So if you want to change your settings and follow along with me, I would go ahead and encourage it. Get the game up, play this game, turn these settings on the same way that I have it. Go ahead and pause the game if you want. I'll leave the settings for the very far left and very far right for arcade and for simulation style if you want that in the bottom. I'll leave it in the description below. But here you see the settings for arcade style. You won't see any wind meter, but that's because the blue line in the middle of your screen, that's going to be your wind meter. It's going to already have that added in for you. That's why you see it curving a little bit to the left there. That's because the wind's blowing a little bit to the left. You won't see elevation because it has it already added in there for you. You see the yardage 299 to the right. It's going to show plus 20. That's already added in there for you. So I'm going to hit it 299 with the 20 feet added in. So all this stuff is already added in. There's no slope needed, nothing really needed. You just need to hit the ball between, go to the 100-yard distance, 100% distance on your backswing. And on this right circle here, where you see a circle with the different colors, keep your swing between those two, that white line, and you're good to go. With the arcade style, where this white arrow is where your ball will end up if you hit a good drive. That's where it's going to be at. Now obviously wherever it rolls from there is where it rolls. You don't see that, but you do see where the ball is. So let's focus on hitting this 100 and keeping it straight back, straight through, and we'll hit it exactly where it's going to go. And as you see in the air, it's going to curve with the wind. You'll see it curve a little bit. It'll start out this way and curve a little bit that way if we hit it right. Really, This is going to be your fun style play because you're going to be hitting it exactly where you want it to go. And one of the pluses with arcade style is it's very fun. I mean, man, we have a 6-iron here on a par 5. Already adding in the slope. It's 181 yards plus 6 yards. It's adding. So, I mean, we're already getting everything added in for us. The wind's added in, and we almost make it for double eagle. I mean, that's arcade style for you. It's going to be fun. Second thing about arcade style is it's going to teach you how to play the green, I guess the course. For example, it's going to show you that this green is going to curve a little bit to the left. If you see those beads are making it curve because it's showing the elevation. It's showing the topography of the green, and it's showing which way the green slopes. And that white line is going to show you where the ball is actually going to curve, the path of the ball. So you get different, really different styles of play between the arcade and the simulation, but the simulation doesn't be able to show you how to get how to read the greens the right way. It doesn't show you any tips at all. The arcade style does give you tips on how to get started playing the game. It's fun, it's informational, and it's a lot easier. You don't have to worry about coming in if you are off on your swing a little bit. You're going to be a little bit more consistent play with this. Your scores are going to be consistently lower. It's going to be a lot more fun playing this style of play. If you're into shooting out golf courses, shooting the lowest score possible. I mean, we're already 200 through 1 here. Gonna eye up another birdie here. And it's really just that style of play. So that's the arcade style. Let's get into the negative parts of it. The negative parts about this, I guess the style of play, is if you play this too long and you want to play legendary or play online matches at some point, it makes your online swing very, very, very rusty, basically. And we don't like rusty, dusty, musty, crusty at all in our swing. So it does hurt it. Oh, whew, almost make it there, boys. I mean, that's arcade style for you. But I mean, with that being said, it doesn't punish you for your swing timing being off. It doesn't punish you for misreading a club because it does all the math for you. So when you go to these online matches, you're having to do the math in your head. You're having to do this, and this in your head. And you're having to make a good swing that you're not normally used to making, and it's going to make it a lot more tough. So if you ever have an aspiration to play online matches or to play at a TGC Tour level, then I would say be careful with how often you play on the arcade settings. But with that being said, if you have no aspirations to play on those, just want to play for fun, enjoy the game, play career mode, destroy Tiger Woods every single time you play, that's the settings you want to play on arcade, is where it's at. And like I said, we'll comment and I can help you find a right society for you. But that is arcade. We'll go ahead and see if we hold this shot out, and we'll move on to simulation. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get into simulation style play here. As you can see, we're still on arcade mode. Let's go ahead and switch over our settings to what I normally play at. And see the differences here. We're going to go ahead and move over to simulation style play. I need to turn that swing timing off, distance. And I can leave all these settings in the description. I'll do that in the description below. But this is what I play at here, and this is mainly, like I said, a mix between legendary as far as difficulty. It's legendary as far as the other settings. It's TGC Tours, and that's because I play TGC Tours weekly, and that's my main goal for myself for my career. But now you see what popped up is in the middle, top middle of the screen. You see a wind meter. Depending on what settings you set at, the wind meter will show a number, or it will just show I guess the strength of the wind by how fast it's moving. I have just the meter only, sorry. And depending on how fast it's moving, you can see it's barely moving, and you can see by the trees a little bit how fast it's moving, but on rule of thumb, I just add 5 miles per hour unless it's just going kind of moving like that, and you see the trees kind of going crazy. I'll add 5 miles per hour. On English courses, you kind of be a little bit more careful. Seaside courses, you got to be a little bit more careful because there's more wind. But right now, there's not a lot of wind. Another difference to the right, you see 3 feet down. We got to do math. So the math on this is for every 3 feet, that's 1 foot of elevation, whichever direction it's pointing. So if it's 3 feet down, it's 1 foot, 1 yard down actually. So that'd be 349, and then for every mile per hour of wind, that's going to be 1 yard. So that's going to be, we said 5 yards on average. That's going to be 5 miles into us. One thing that's also different is where the arrow is at is not where you're going to be at. That's where it's going to be at without doing the math. Then you have to do all the math, the elevation, the wind, the slope, and go from there on it and figure out where your ball is going to be at. Here again, we're going to have to do the math. 3 feet up, that's going to be 1.2 yards up, and that 5 mile per hour wind coming from the side, so we're going to aim a little bit to the right. But also, we have the slope at our feet that we have to watch out for. So we'll get that set up, and then we'll look here. You press the L1 button for PS4 users, and you'll see the slope going to the right. We'll have to account that in, because whichever the slope is pointing or going to, whichever way it's sloping down into, is which way the ball is going to go. And we go very fast there. That's part of the struggle that I have with this game. Is my short game on Legendary is really tough. Everything else is pretty good for the most part, but my putting and my chipping on Legendary can be very spotty, especially moving over from beginning and arcade style play over to simulation style play. This is kind of the issues that I said that I've had, is moving over from arcade to simulation. I have 0 issues at all, only benefits from moving from simulation to arcade. But arcade to simulation is very tough. Here, I notice, I guess, positive and minuses to simulation. We've already really went over the negatives. It's tough. It burns you out because, I mean, who likes making a double bogey on a video game? But at the end of the day, I know it's going to help me out becoming a better golfer, and that's what leads into number 1. It helps me become a better golfer online and a better golfer in real life. The reason why I say that is my short game has become so much better because of this game. Like I already said, it's become so much better because I understand mentally what's going on in my head, what I'm thinking, and I understand that it's got to change a little bit different in one area, and it's really helped out. My issue, just being honest with you, sorry, my beard got itchy today, boys. Need to put some conditioner on the beard, maybe. Drop a comment for your beard conditioner that you use. But with that being said, I was slowing down when I got to my chips, and I noticed that I was doing it on the video game. And I noticed a lot of my issues that I was doing on the video game, like here, I didn't want to put that ball long. I left that ball short because I didn't want to have to deal with a long putt coming back because it sloped real bad after the hole. And here on simulation, like this hole would be tough on simulation, but on arcade mode, it's not going to be very tough because this water's not going to be in play. On simulation, this water is very much in play, and I guarantee you this ball goes in this water. But it's just because it's of the different settings. This course is going to be a whole lot different style of play. If you play this on, I called it. You heard it here first. That it was going in the water. But second, you take me and play this course on arcade mode. Ask me how the course is. I'm going to tell you one thing. You ask me the exact same question. If I played this on simulation, it's going to be such a drastic different answer as far as course. It's the same course, but how you play this is going to be so different. This is a birdie/eagle hole on arcade mode, and I'm struggling. I'm going to make a double bogey here. So, with that being said, if you want to become a better golfer, want to learn the game of golf, already play the game of golf, want to just get that competitive itch out and kind of have a video virtual style play, this simulation is a style for you. If you like to just shoot out and have fun, new to the game, arcade style is going to be more your style. So let's figure out where you're at. Pause this video, go to your 2K23 account, go ahead and go to your settings, and open them up. Let's figure out where you're at in this game, and let's figure out if that's where you would like to be at. If you're going to be through beginner, to just before Pro, you're going to be in the arcade style settings for the rule of thumb. Pro to Legendary is going to be your simulation style, but with that being said, it's fluid, and where you're at on the line is going to be closer to the other style. So if you're at, well, I guess how to know if you're at the right point in your game. First question, there's going to be 3 questions you ask yourself. Are you having fun? If the answer is yes, then you're at the right spot. If the answer is no, is the game too difficult or is the game too easy? So if the answer is the game too difficult, lower the settings down a little bit. Ease it up a little bit. Try different settings. Figure out what part of the game is difficult. Practice it and ease up on the settings a little bit. Is the game too easy? Go up on the settings a little bit. Try a little bit more difficult shots, a little bit more difficult settings. And last question. Where do you want to be at in the future? If you want to become a better player, keep those settings a little bit more hard and just know that you're going to grind to become a better player. If you really don't care at where the end goal is and you're just having fun, then just have fun, set those settings to help yourself out. But that's all we have for today. Please like, subscribe, comment. Leave a comment below on what you'd like to see next, what you need help out with the game, and we'll make a video on it. And there's going to be more instructional videos as we go. But just remember to have fun, set goals, and let's try to achieve those and become better as we go. But as always, y'all have a great day. Thank you for stopping in, and until next time.